Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 16 of The Mentalist. Today I would like to speak about multiple topics, and I'm going to cover some things I've been wanting to cover over the past few weeks. I've just been busy adjusting to working as my own boss, which sometimes makes me a little more motivated than if I were working for someone else, since I'm the one writing my own paycheck. Today is going to be a little longer than most videos, because I have a lot of ground to cover because of a short absence. I'm finally going to be addressing Michelle Carter, but also bringing some things to light I believe others missed, as well as speaking on Mr. James Demore, which I don't think got enough attention, and another cracked-ass attempt at a feminist-run business to bring to light the non-existent pay gap. Let's start with Michelle Carter and Conrad Roy. First off, it astounds me that encouraging someone and pressuring them into killing themselves in the distinct manner that Michelle Carter did isn't at minimum a manslaughter charge. I've got a link below where you can read all of the text messages where she pressured this young man over days to put a generator in his vehicle and kill himself. She even helped him plan the method. She showed no remorse in the courtroom. All you have to do is look at her expressions in between the moments of tears that she seemed to put on for her jurors. I also noticed that I hear no outrage from the feminist camp like I read upon the Brock Turner rape case, because men do not matter to feminism. Granting Michelle Carter a 15-month sentence for this was just as laughable and outraging as the result of that Brock Turner case. Now let's talk about poison ivy, and I don't mean the plant. I mean the young girl from New Zealand who goes on Twitter by @poisonivylul, whom had her previous account banned and has been accused of doing the same thing as Michelle Carter for quite some time, meaning talking young men into suicide, but yet you've barely heard it mentioned. Why is that? Next, let's talk about Mr. James Demore, a now former Google employee that got fired for challenging the feminist status quo at the corporate giant. He sent out an inter-office memo released by Gizmodo in the links below. He stated his feelings that the company was basically just a giant echo chamber where no one could have opinions. At least, not opinions that were not the same as the left-centered company. Now, I've got no problems with the left or the right in some of their political views, but I do believe that everyone should be allowed to have independent thought, and that freedom should be supported. He went on to use thorough scientific facts to support his opinions, and we all know what happens when you throw facts at feminists. Now, while I don't always agree that work is the place to air your political views, I can only imagine what it's like to have political agendas shoved down your gullet every day from your workplace. I'm sure there is only so much that any one person can take before you do exactly what Mr. Demore did. He also went on to CNN to make sure his points were well understood, and even as the reporter fired off questions trying to trip him up, he was able to better clarify his position and able to deflect the massed attack for daring to question the feminist narrative. Finally, there seems to be a new trend forming in feminist-owned businesses, the quote, ManTax. Apparently, it's now acceptable in modern society to tax a gender in your business in the name of equality to fight a non-existent pay gap. A vegan restaurant in Australia is following suit of a pharmacy in New York last year with this new business model that charges men 7% more on all items in its store. What's more is they claim to have simps galore coming just to shop and pay the extra. Just when you thought blue pilling was on the downfall, we have this kind of stuff hitting our media everywhere. We are making progress. I can say that much because I actually had Axe just recently quote me on their website. But the fight certainly isn't over yet. And on that note, gents, I encourage you to check out FamilySystemsTech.com. This is a group of MGTOW who have decided it's high time that men have resources at their disposal in family court at reasonable rates. They help men get the legal resources they need in the hardest times, when their family and their children are on the line. Please check it out. In the meantime, this has been another episode of The Mentalist. I hope to see you next time.